What's up, everybody? Big Bergie here with a truck update. I know I had a video of me removing the head and stripping all this down, and my stupid self deleted it on accident. Doing a Pokemon one, I accidentally deleted it. Well, I got the head off. Had to have a buddy come over and remove this bolt because my impact wasn't strong enough, so he removed that bolt. You got to use a pulley puller, pull that out to remove my crankcase cover. Cleaned it up, cleaned all that up, put a new gasket, put some silicone on it, bolted that in. Did the same with that, pulled that off, checked the lifters, looked at them, cleaned it up in there, cleaned that up, painted it, put those brand new gaskets and stuff in there. Then I got the oil pan off, drained the oil. You got to remove this mount bolt, Get you a jack with a 2x4, place up underneath here, and lift the truck, or lift the motor up. A couple of pumps to where it'll slide out the back. Pull it out the back, you're good to go. And same with putting it back in. You just lift the motor up, put it back in. I got it, being painted. And if you're wondering why I went with gold, normally I paint these blue, Ford engine blue. I figured I'd just change it up. Or, excuse me, I'm not supposed to cuss. Change stuff up. Painted the valve cover. I've been pulling small parts off, painting them, cleaning them up, painting them. Pull this off. I gotta get bolts. I'm gonna build me a little block off piece for that. Put that in. That's the power steering coolant or cooler or fluid cooler thing. Valve cover's been painted. I even painted the carb. I don't know why, but I just figured I would. My garage is a mess. I cleaned these up, painted them, put a new gasket in the middle. Couldn't break this free, no matter how hard I tried, so I just clamped it down really hard. Got a hammer, smashed it in, clamped it pretty much to where nothing's coming out of that. That was ready to go. And here's my head. Yes, I painted it as well gold. Now, when I wasn't able to show y'all this in the build or in the teardown, but I noticed on cylinder, this is front, cylinder number 2, the intake valve, which is this valve right here. It's bent. It's slightly bent, and it was closed shut. The rocker was pushed sideways. Was sitting sideways on here when I pulled the valve cover off. The rod was bent. I'm like, all right. I've had that happen before. These 300 straight sixes, they're strong motors. Don't ever let nobody tell you these motors ain't strong. These are some damn good motors. You know, I prefer the 300's reliability and invincibility over a 302, 351, you name it. I would rather go low and slow than, fast and, whatever a good analogy for that is. But as you can tell, I got the other valve. I pulled all the valves out. Now, you're supposed to clean the valves. I cleaned the valves up, soaked everything, let it clean up, and put valve per valve back where they're supposed to go. Guys, look, I'm not certified. I'm not a professional here. This is probably the 5th or 6th motor I've ever built for these trucks, and every time I built them, never had an issue with them afterwards. My problem is I end up selling the truck, and I don't know why I ever do. I keep myself in the butt every time I build one of these, and I'm like, oh man, I love this truck, and here I am selling it. But another valve fits perfectly in it. The only thing I have to do is I have to order me a new valve and a new push rod. All the other push rods came out great. They're over there, all the bolts and stuff. They came out great, except for the push rod for this one. and the valve. So as you can tell, I have a valve in here now. I've tested it, went up and down with it, works perfect, works fine. Um, it's you don't have to do all that, especially with these motors. What else I got? That's pretty much about it. Sorry. Yeah, like I said, I tore the front end off of the truck. It's sitting over here. I'm gonna clean those up, paint them, and get them ready to go. I did try to keep the AC intact. I did have to cut the lines, which I knew the lines were bad anyways. I'd have to replace those anyway. So to make my life easier, I just cut them. I'm still having an issue with the brakes. Now, I have pulled off my proportioning valve. I pulled it off, cleaned it up, cleaned it out, and put it back in. Well, when I pulled it out, I took air and I blew air through all the lines. I tried to blow some of the gunk and the crap out of the. I opened up all the valves, the bleeder valves, and tried to blow crap out of bleeder valves. Nothing came out of the back. The back from here to the back is bone dry. So I'm thinking this proportioning valve is not letting fluid go to the rear. So those nice new rear drum brakes I just did with new wheel cylinders and stuff, they're not able to work for me. But what I'm thinking what's happening is my front brakes, when I take them and I apply the brakes, they clamp on, but they don't release. They don't come back. Like whenever I did oh my god, my self-bleeding test. You can do a self-bleeding test. All you need is a bottle and some clear hose or any kind of hose, as long as you can see that there's no air in the line. Well, just put a little bit of .3 at the bottom of that to where the hose is underneath the fluid. Fill up your job there, and you go to the back. That's when I found out that I wasn't getting any pressure to the back, but I did the fronts. And I noticed the fronts, this one, it worked some odd okay. But this one over here, on this side, it just continuously I would pump and it would fill the bottle. It filled the bottle. It's not returning back to the proportioning valve. And I cannot, those front tires, you can't turn them. You cannot turn these front rotors. They are clamped on. They are not going nowhere. So I'm gonna pull the brake calipers off. I'm gonna pull the proportioning valve out. That's a brand new master cylinder, and you notice it's manual. It's a manual. It's a manual brake system. These trucks don't go fast. I mean, I might later on go to a junkyard, find me brake booster, and throw it on there later on down the road. But for right now, like I said, I think this truck would top out about 70 miles an hour, about as fast as this truck will go. I'm not trying to race with it. I'm not trying to do anything dumb with it. So just slowly replacing parts to where it's just a nice little cruiser here and there, secondary truck. So whenever I'm done with this one, I can work on the heavy Chevy. I got some stuff to do to it, but because this one's on stands and not operating correctly, I can't really get out of the driveway. So, like I said, I'm gonna pull the proportioning valve off and both the calipers off. Pull the brake lines because they're a little used. Pull them off, replace them, because it's all fun and games to go, to get up and go, but it sucks when you can't stop. So that's it. Nice little 10-minute update on what's going on. I'm gonna try and record me working on I'm sorry guys, I get to working and I don't check my phone, or I'm like, oh man, this is great footage, and I delete it because I'm an idiot and I'm making 2 or 3 videos, and so. But this is the 300 straight 6 and my 82 Ford F100. More videos to come. I probably won't buy parts for it. I have a full engine gasket set. That's why I can do the motor stuff right now. But I'm probably gonna wait till my birthday is on Monday, and I'm gonna buy a 300 straight 6 and my 82 Ford F100. More videos to come. I'm gonna buy. I probably won't buy parts for it. I have a full engine gasket set. That's why I can do the motor stuff right now. But I'm probably gonna wait till my birthday is on Monday, and we're all planning to do stuff, and then we got Christmas next month. So I probably won't buy. I'm gonna do some overtime end of the month on try to get some extra money in and use that to fund this to get it off the stand so we can get out of here. That way, we're not tapping into our income. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, y'all take it easy. Be safe. Big Berkey out.